available. Oh, sorry about that. I got an interesting message there. So we're going to be talking about some of the positions that we're going to have available to us at our job fair coming up this week. So the fair itself will be on Saturday at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And just very quickly, I don't know if there's a way that we can do this, but there is an Eventbrite link to our event, which you can register there. And then we also take walk-ins as well. So what I want to try to do is share my screen. And we don't usually use Zoom on at LAWA, and I'm actually going to turn my camera off because it's just not working. But we don't usually use Zoom here, so I'm trying to figure out some of the things. We've used Teams forever. But I do want to share the flyer that we sent out to everybody. And I don't believe I actually have that option, do I?
I'm sorry,
sure.
yes, let me make you, I'm sorry, that's my fault. I need to make you a co-host.
Ah.
That is all me.
That's good.
There you go. You should see, do you see a share screen button now?
I do.
Okay, great. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's perfectly fine. So does everybody see the flyer that I have posted right now?
We do, it's there.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Let's see if I can minimize it for you a little bit. Okay, so our job fair is going to be on Saturday, April 22nd. And I just heard myself in the background. This has been like an interesting day of technical issues. So pre-registration, I don't know how many of the attendees have already pre-registered for some of the positions that we have, but there are some intriguing ones. We have a cashew program, and then we also have like a summer internship and then IT internships. So there's all kinds of kind of interesting possibilities here. These are positions that the city would call a student professional worker. So you have to be enrolled in college and taking college credits. And then you could qualify for certain positions like these. And then our cashews, which is community administrative support workers, also oftentimes are students, and they are half-time employees. So all of these situations are half-time or 1,039 hours, however you want to use them. So for our summer internship, it runs from, I think June through September. And then we'll start ramping up to that a little bit earlier. You'll sort of get your assignments, get set up with those positions as they come. But we're going to start interviewing candidates for these kinds of things at our job fair on Saturday. There are other classifications too that I do want to talk about outside of internships. For those of you who might be graduating in the next couple of months, there are classifications called management assistant, and then also administrative clerk and administrative intern. So I'll talk about each one of these. Oh dear. Here we go. So the first one I'll talk about is actually administrative intern, because this is one of the ones that is definitely in play for Saturday. So I don't know why, but there's a menu that pops up. Like, make that go away. There it is. Okay, so we'll get this a little bigger for you. So administrative intern, this is actually a position that does analytical work for us, and it sort of is a gateway to the management level classifications within the city of Los Angeles. So while it is an emergency appointment, which means it's an appointment that you get for 1 year, it's temporary, It's not permanent and it doesn't guarantee permanent employment. But what it does is it gives you a foot in the door for a year to establish yourself, to give yourself an opportunity to impress people, do some good work, get used to the city and how the city of Los Angeles operates, get used to LAWA and how Los Angeles World Airports operates, and just gives you an opportunity to do some real meaningful work. So I'll take you through the two classifications. It's Administrative Intern 1 and Administrative Intern 2. And I don't want to get into money right now. I'm not going to get into sort of how much they make. You can see that through some of the information that we've sent out to you. But I will get into the duties that they perform. So Administrative Intern 1 performs routine work of limited scope and difficulty in collecting and analyzing data. So you're starting to do some analytical work for the city, which is very important. And that is the key to sort of rising up in the management level courses or classes, excuse me. Then you're going to be working on areas of administration, fiscal duties, budgetary stuff, organizational personnel, and planning matters. So all kinds of different avenues for which you can be deployed. It just depends on your skill set, and what we're going to try to do is match the candidate's skill sets with where we deploy you, or the kinds of assignments that you're going to receive. We want to set you up to be successful, so we're always looking to put people in a place where it plays to their strengths. So you want to do this because, like I said, it's a good foot in the door, and I'll just continue reading the descriptor here. It receives experience leading to advancement in the fields of administrative analysis, personnel, or planning, and does related work. So the requirement is 3 years of education and recognized four-year college or university, and it's required for this pay grade. So this is an opportunity to get your foot in the door, and you just need 3 years completed. So you could still be taking college courses while working as an administrative intern. Administrative interns can be deployed in a full-time capacity, but most likely we're looking at some kind of augmented schedule. But that's something you can work out with the supervisors that are hiring, and then also each individual assignment has its own schedule and its own set of requirements. So I don't want to promise anybody a full-time gig here, but what I can say is that there are opportunities for full and half-time employment. The other pay grade is a 2. Now, the administrative intern 2 is a little bit more complicated work, and it also requires a little bit more experience, but pays a little bit better, so that's good news. Performs routine work of limited scope and difficulty in collecting and analyzing data and preparing reports on administrative, fiscal, budgetary, organizational, personnel, and planning matters. So kind of the same types of duties, but maybe a bit more advanced than what an intern 1 would do. And then receives experience leading to advancement in the fields of administrative analysis, personnel planning, and does related work. So pretty much the same description for both, just maybe it deployed a little bit more, to do a little bit more complicated stuff. And then completion of 4 years of education and recognized four-year college university is required for this pay grade level. And while it doesn't necessarily specify that you have to have your degree, you should have completed 4 years of study. So administrative intern is one of the ones that we are going to kind of be looking at, and it will fill in that role of a management assistant. So here's the thing with management assistant, which is a higher level class. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Here we go. So here is the most recent bulletin for management assistant. And it actually does list the salary here, which is a requirement when we post these bulletins. I am going to try to make this a little bit bigger for you, but I'm not sure I'm able to right Okay. The challenge with us being able to name somebody as management assistant is, again, because individuals will be coming in sort of off of, I don't want to say off the street, but because they're going to be coming in having not taken the exam, we have to clear this for emergency appointment. Emergency appointment basically means that you're in the position for 1 year or until the next eligible list posts, whichever comes first. So let me give you a quick crash course in City of Los Angeles hiring policies. Every classification like management assistant, you have to take an exam. I highly encourage all of those attending right now to go to governmentjobs.org. Yes, governmentjobs.com. You see it actually right here, governmentjobs.com. And it will give you kind of lists of all of the classifications we have in the city, and the ones that are open to all. Take those exams, take as many of those exams as you can qualify for. So actually, what I'll do is, this is interesting. I've never done this exact presentation before, so I'm kind of seeing some things I could show you that I wasn't able to show you before. Okay, so here we go. So if you go to governmentjobs.com and then careers LA City. So government jobs, it's kind of right up here, governmentjobs.com, careers LA City. Don't mind my list of things here that are kind of popping up. And I'll send everybody a link to this later so that you can have it. So all the attendees can end up getting it. It says jobs open for all. That's what we want. So you click on jobs open to all, and then it starts giving you all of the classifications that are open, things that you can qualify for. So take a look at all of the things you're interested in. And look, there's jobs in the city of Los Angeles that I never even knew existed in the city. I'm talking about, like, there was a time, and I took all exams. Like, there was a point where I was just taking every single exam that I could get my greedy little hands on. And I was on eligible lists for things, you know, like management analyst or I'm a senior personnel analyst now. So I was on that list for a while. So things like that in the analyst track or in the management track. But also I took exams for things like zoo curator of education, which I didn't know was a thing until I saw it. Just bumbling through this list, I saw, what, zoo curator, really? And as it turns out, I worked in informal education for many years. I worked at the Natural History Museum here in Los Angeles, worked at the Philadelphia Zoo for many years in their education program, and I qualified for zoo curator of education. So I ended up on that list. I didn't go that track, but I think it's very interesting that there's so many different levels or classifications. I was on the arts manager list. We have a whole wonderful arts program in the city of Los Angeles, if you're interested in that kind of thing. I heard someone try to peep in there, and I'm looking at some things in the chat. So I think I'm going to stop my motor right now and just check in with everybody to see if I'm going too fast. Oh, by the way, if I'm going too fast for anyone, just let me know, and I will slow down, I promise. I do tend to move very quickly through these things. Are there any technician positions available? There are going to be a couple. Let me take a look at the list of classifications. If I can pull it up real quick. This may take me a minute or two to do. Because I literally did. I just come running into the office today. I had another thing pop up this morning, and I was taken into, you know, doing some sort of time sensitive stuff. So I don't have that up on my computer. But there are definitely technical positions available. In fact, there's a lot of stuff. I know that we have, I think, city planner. I think it is one of the planning positions. is available, whether it's city planner or airport planner or something like that. I know those are available. Come on.
But you should be. Because they were talking. Okay.
One more second. Almost got it. Here we go. Okay, so if you're talking about technician stuff, we have things like equipment operator, building repairer. A mechanical helper is there. That's going to be a classification that we're going to be able to hire for. Things like environmental specialist. That's a very kind of niche thing. It's a specialized class, but those kind of graduating in the next couple of months may qualify for that. Construction inspector, that one is going to be on our list of ones to do. So there are going to be some technician, and then there's some other ones are popping in, like our divisions are sending us notification of like, we have this available, and so we might be adding to that. All right, what if we can't attend the job fair? I have a Cal State tour that day, right? So obviously life happens and priorities take place. If you can't attend the job fair, there are still some classifications that you can inquire about. So you can send an email out to our team, and I think there's a link in Eventbrite to email our team directly. But if not, I'll provide some information in the chat for who you can send to. At least as far as our internship programs and our community administrative support worker, right? The cashews is what we call them. Those kinds of duties, those things are we're always sort of looking for candidates for those. So there is opportunity even if you can't attend the fair. Oh, sure thing. Let's see. Here's a link to the website. So government jobs. Oh, thank you for posting that. I appreciate it. Sorry. Yeah, I literally came like running into my office to do this. And so just give you a heads up on what my role is here, which I don't really think I even did a proper sort of introduction, but my name is Joe Vernoya. Hi, I am the hiring manager here at Los Angeles World Airports. And this is the first time we've ever done a job fair. The city of Los Angeles runs the staff here at Los Angeles World Airports. And so we follow city hiring policies and procedures. And that usually means that we go through this examining process like I was just describing, where people take exams, they pass exams, hopefully, and then they get on a list of eligibles, right? So there's a whole process that we have to go through normally to hire people. But when there is an opportunity, because we have had trouble filling positions, we don't have a list of candidates to choose from anymore, or various other circumstances, we can do something called an emergency appointment. And in these cases, all of the classes that I was just reading, from administrative clerk, traffic painter, sign poster, custodian, like all those things that we're looking at, airport engineer. So there is an airport engineer position that's in play, which is interesting. All of these things don't have a list of candidates for us to choose from right now, so we can make emergency appointments. Those can be done same day. Those can be done, just because it's an emergency right away. And so we have an opportunity to actually do some of this. And so this is the first time we've ever really taken an aggressive approach to some of the positions we can't fill. We are actually going to have a job fair and fill them, or at least try to. And it's not something that's commonly done in the city of Los Angeles. And so we're sort of a test I guess this is a test event, right? To see if it's really a feasible thing that we can do. And honestly, because we've never done it before, I'm not exactly sure what is going to happen on Saturday, but I know that it's going to be a big event, and I think it's going to be a very successful one, especially if we have really good candidates like the students at your college. Okay, so that's sort of a little bit of the background of what's going on here. I apologize, like I said, today I've been running around like my hair's on fire because I'm, as I said, the hiring manager of Los Angeles World Airports, and there's a lot going on. So I apologize, this morning got a little away from me, but we're back now. So let's go back to kind of exploring this website. So it's governmentjobs.com, careers LA City, right? And the link is in your chat. And so let's say like we're looking at administrative clerk, because that's one of the positions that's in play this weekend. Administrative clerk, let's put it up here. Let's see if it actually loads. All right, well, that's not, I don't know, that's not working. We don't have time to play with that. That is actually unfortunate though. Yeah. Oh, can't get the bulletin for it. Let's see what else we can do maybe. Airport police officer, we can't really play around with that one. We go back to management assistant. I know that worked. Inevitably, when you're doing a presentation and you have a website, it will crash. That is what it will do. I've been doing it before I became the hiring manager here. I was actually working in our training and employee development team, and we would do things like this, and inevitably the the thing would always crash. I like to say, like, I am one of those people who just looks at a computer, it blows up, it just explodes. That's who I am as a human. So honestly, this really isn't much of a surprise. But let me see if I can pull that back up again.
Joe, you could also try stop sharing it and see if it like allows it to maybe refresh
Right, well,
and then reshare it if it does refresh. But yes, it always happens when you're giving a presentation. Us too.
right, exactly. So now I'm working on a different browser, and so I'm trying to pull it up there. So let's see if I have any better luck. Well, let's go back. So I know I had accounting clerk. Oh, there we go. Okay, accounting clerk. Now this one's interesting because accounting clerk is not one of the ones that we have open this weekend, but it is one of the ones that you can apply at Bridge to Jobs. So the Bridge to Jobs program in Los Angeles is designed to allow individuals to enter civil service, but not necessarily through the exam process. Bridge to Jobs is a really great program. It's sort of an alternate way to, to get into the city, as it were. And accounting clerk is one of those that's in that program. So
Joel has his hand up.
yeah, I know, I saw it just
Okay.
popped up. What's up, Joel?
Hi, Joseph, and everybody and our friends at West LA College and the students and interested parties here. I just wanted to make a quick commercial, Joe, as you continue with your number of your opportunities at LAWA. I wanted to make a quick commercial that represent one of the city's workforce centers. It's called the West Adams Workforce Center, and we're open for enrollment. meaning that you can enroll with us. There's no charge for our services. There's actually a workforce center very close by West LA College, operated by JVS. We could do the same thing, but we also have resources that can help support you in short-term training and certification. And we are also an application site for the program that Joseph has just shared you, Bridges to Careers, or Bridges, how to get a city position, sort of in a truncated manner. So please, I'm going to put my email in the inbox in the chat, and hopefully reach out to me so we can help you as well. Okay. Thank you all.
Good stuff. Thank you, Joel. Okay, so right, so accounting clerk is part of that Bridge Jobs program, and I do highly suggest you look into that. But this also is great because it allows us to, let me see if it will do it here. Employment opportunity employer. So this link will talk about the testing process in the city of Los Angeles, so that you can kind of learn how to take exams. Let me see if that.
You called it the Unbridged program?
It's Bridge to Jobs. There's also targeted local hiring, which is a different program. So there's two programs that are sort of sister programs. One is called Targeted Local Hiring, and the other is Bridge to Jobs. They have different kind of levels of classifications in the city, different kinds of jobs that they can place people in. Targeted Local Hiring is sort of like entry level stuff. Bridge to Jobs is slightly higher, slightly advanced. So this is the personnel department website, per.lacity.org. Which I will actually, let's see, we can post that in the chat. Okay. So let me post that in the chat too. perlacity.org is a great website to find out about the city positions and stuff. Okay. So employment testing process, it gives you, rather than me trying to explain it to you, it gives you a really great rundown of how online examining or testing is done in the city of Los Angeles here. And, you know, taking those exams, especially the open ones, I highly suggest you take as many of them as you can if you want to get into the city. I think it's a great opportunity. And once you get into the city, the benefits are outstanding, and it provides you stability for hopefully the breadth of your career. That's my pitch. Okay, so it also gives you information on the benefits, and you can go to our benefits department, and it gives you a link there, and then also questions as well. The cool thing about this is you can also, you see if it allows you to, you can share it, you can post it online. There's lots of cool things about this website. Okay. And if you sign in, I think you have to be able to sign in to do it. They give you other things too. So this, let's go over the menu. It's jobs open to all. This is the one you're going to want to kind of look at first, is the jobs open to all. And that's the menu we're on right now. Promotional opportunities, those are positions within the city of Los Angeles that you can only take the exam if you already work for the city in kind of a lower position on the tree, and then you can promote into those. Job information and notification for upcoming exams. This is important. So let's go to accountant real quick. So you can subscribe. Actually, let's go back to accounting clerk, because we were just talking about accounting clerk a second ago. So accounting clerk is coming up. The exam is coming up, and you can subscribe to take that exam. So what that means is, I'll take you through, you can just put like Joe, and then Renoya, it's me, and then an email address, and then submit. And what it'll happen is that it will record that you've asked to be reminded of it, and then it will send you an email at the email address that you put in here, and it'll say, this exam is coming up. Do you want to take it? Right? And so it's really a great resource. And like I said before, I took a whole bunch of exams. I signed up for as many of them as I could by doing this exact thing. So keep on going down the list here. Let's go to administrative clerk, which is another one that's in play this weekend, actually, is administrative clerk, but there is an exam coming. So you can subscribe to that. So put your name first, last, and then email address, and then you'll get an email notification. It's time to file for the administrative clerk exam. You can do that. And then you file for the exam. They'll make sure you qualify. You have to put in your city application and all that other fun stuff. And they'll look at your application to see that you meet the qualifications of admin clerk or whatever position you're going for. And then the personnel department will say, yes, you can take this exam. So this website, governmentjobs.com, is a great avenue for you to go and look at all of those open exams within the city of Los Angeles that you can take. Getting into the city, again, it offers you stability and a career growth opportunities, and also, you know, you serve the city and the community. So it's a win-win for a lot of people, especially you. Okay, so I see a whole bunch of questions popping up in the chat here, so I'm going to go over and take a look at what we have. Let's see. All right, let's see. Can you talk about local hire program? I think we kind of did. The targeted local hiring is a bit different because it takes you out of the exams. You don't have to take the exams, but it doesn't guarantee you a job either. And I think Joelle kind of just talked about it a little bit too. So targeted local hiring allows us to bring in people at either an administrative track or a custodial track. So you can either do one of those two options, and they have like a little bit of a skills analysis that they do prior to make sure that you're in the right track. And then you're given an opportunity to interview to come in as as a trainee level employee. So you don't come in right away as an admin clerk or as a custodian. You come in as a trainee, and the trainee program you last 6 months, and then you elevate to an assistant, and then 6 months, and then you elevate to the class that you want, whether it's custodian or administrative clerk, whereupon you have a probation. So it's a 1.5 year program. It's 6 months as a trainee, 6 months as assistant, and then 6 months on probation in the actual class. And when you're done that, you have city service. You are now a civil servant officially. So it's a good way to get into the city. Bridge to Jobs runs the same way, but like I said, there's slightly more advanced classes, like accounting clerk is one of them, which is a slightly more advanced set of duties than an admin clerk would have. So those two programs are really great for getting entry into the city. They're not really in play this Saturday, but it's a great thing for you to know. And I think they are going to be there. They'll have a table where you can talk to them and ask them questions. Okay. Okay, although LAWA is doing the job fair to fulfill the positions, will the candidates be scheduled to take those tests that are needed? If you are hired as an emergency appointment, you still have to, you're still responsible for scheduling yourself for any of those exams. So we'll keep you, informed of it. But a lot of people who get emergency appointments just automatically think they're going to get scheduled for these exams, but that's not how the personnel department does it. They want you to be aware of it and to schedule yourself. Now, obviously, your supervisors are going to be in touch with you on this. And hopefully you'll get reminders through governmentjobs.com to take the exam, but it's not a guarantee that you're going to be enrolled in the exam. You have to still enroll yourself in the exam. And then, yes, once you pass that exam, it goes a long way towards being able to be a permanent employee in the city. Okay. Okay, I see a bunch of things posted, but not necessarily questions. The chat, they're posting a lot of like links in the chat, which I think is great. Okay,
There was one more question by a student. Shavonda said, I was looking at the job and it said I need to fill out a city application, but there was no place to obtain one, and the link said it was sold out. So it seems like it's a question about where to find the application.
okay. So there's a couple of things that you can do. First of all, I think it was sold out at one point and then we opened it back up. I haven't checked today. Let me check today and see if it is sold out again. We don't want to overload ourselves, right? So let me see. Oops, come in here. That here for now. So if it's sold out, we still take walk-ins, and we emailed all of the registrants today actually with a link. So
Can you repeat that one more time about it being sold out?
I'm trying to see if it's sold out again, because it was sold out before and then we opened it back up. So here's the flyer. So you can go to the QR code. Which I'm actually trying to do right now and failing catastrophically. There it is. Boom. All right, so let me see if it's sold out again. Yep, sold out again. So we're kind of at capacity, but we can still take walk-ins. In the meantime, if anybody wants the city application, hold on for a second. And I will post the city application link in the chat. And that's something that we did notice. Like I said, we never did this before. So we're finding all kinds of new and exciting things that we did wrong. and one of them was that we didn't post a link into the chat. So, or we didn't post a link for the application. So, you know, it's the planning these kinds of big events is always a challenge, especially if you've never done those things before. Okay, in the meantime, it looks like someone posted the alternative paths to employment link in the chat. So that is the link to Bridge to Jobs and to Bridge to Jobs and targeted local hiring. Okay, so before we leave today, I'll post the applications to the city. I'm not getting that link right now, but I'll post it before I leave. So you can have the city app. We'll also have them there too. So like if you just want to walk in, like you're not planning on going, but all of a sudden you're like free on Saturday at noon or whatever, and you want to show up, sure. And we'll have applications there for you to fill out. So you can fill it out in person as well. I just don't want to go and hunt for that right now. It's on the personnel department's website, but okay. Let me get back to some of the questions.
I think there's no more student questions in the chat. All the rest is just links.
Yeah. Like when you guys help us apply and possibly get a job, we can give you assistance. You certainly can. We can give you guidance as well. Like one of the cool things about our team here is we're always willing to help out somebody when they have questions. So if you have other questions, if you show up at the event and you have questions, one of our agents will be happy to answer those questions for you. Let's see. Let me see if there's Worksource Center, of course, will help. Joel is all over that. That's what he does. Yeah, it looks like there's just a whole bunch of replies. Okay, perfect. So I'm still looking for. Okay, so I finally got the chat. There it is. So this is for applications for City of LA. Oh wait, I'm trying to send to all. Yeah, everyone in meeting. There it is. There we go. So the application PDF is at that link. So there you go. Okay. So like I said, there's a number of it's mostly entry level stuff or things that we can make emergency appointments for. That's what you're going to be seeing a lot of this weekend. And then what we're going to do also is we can look at your application, and if you're not sure exactly what position or what kind of classification you want to interview for, we can guide you towards the right booth, right? The right group of individuals or hiring managers that can interview you that day. So just be prepared to come in and answer some questions about what you've done before. So that may be another avenue that we can discuss. I know that we were kind of coming up on an hour here, so I don't want to take up too much more time. But you know, there are some things you can do in your interview strategy, right, to make sure that you put your best foot forward that day. Yeah, we certainly accept paper applications. In fact, because that question just popped up in the chat. Yes, we still do accept paper applications. It's especially for an event like this, trying to do everything digitally with walk-ins and things like that could be a challenge. And then also the way our system works, we put a package together which includes rating sheets and things like that. So we're going to be rating the candidates as we go based on criteria that's been preset, so that it avoids any kind of favoritism or anything like that. All these interviews are fair. Every candidate gets the same questions asked by the same person, scored on the same scale. But because of that, there's some paperwork that's involved, right? Especially because a lot of us are going to be outdoors in booths and we're not going to have computer access so for every single one of our interview panels. So that's why the paper applications are still in play, at least for this weekend. And also keep in mind that a lot of the classifications that we're talking about are classifications that, you know, the applicants or the candidates don't necessarily have to be tech savvy, right? So a paper application is still a good thing for people who may only have a smartphone, not necessarily have a laptop or anything they can print an application or print a PDF or something. And then also some people don't even really have those capabilities or the knowledge. So it prevents us from, I don't know, being almost technologically biased against candidates who are coming in with maybe not the best resources or not the best computer skills or what have you. We want to make sure that we can reach everybody. And that's part of the reason why we're using the paper applications as well. Everybody's on the same playing field. But it's a great question because we do live in a technological era, don't we? But yeah, my suggestion to you is if you do come, Yes, exactly. Someone put out, great to avoid any isms. Yes, no, absolutely. We want to make sure it's fair and competitive for all applicants involved, and that is city hiring at its heart. As the hiring manager here at LAWA, I am adamant about that. You know, I developed the course on how to interview people here because and one of the things I wanted to make absolutely sure of is that we avoided any bias or disparate treatment or any kinds of hints of impropriety in our hiring process. We want to make sure that everyone gets a fair shake and is judged on the same criteria as everybody else. Okay. So that being said, there are a couple of things I do want to discuss with you quickly. First of all, when you go to your interview, take your best foot forward and own your success. That's the one thing I would say is we're all coming in kind of off the street here. No one knows what to expect at this thing, but just take the questions that they give you and go after it. Go after it. Tell them how awesome you are and don't be afraid of that. And so many people almost apologize for their successes. And yes, I know a lot of you are students right now, and maybe you don't feel you have a lot of professional experience. I will tell you that doesn't matter. Go out there and tell them whatever it is you've done that's been successful and that you're proud of, and make them know that you've been successful and that you're proud of that. That's perfectly fine. We want to see people who own their success and are confident about who they are. Even though you do know that coming in, it's probably going to be entry level. You're probably going to have a lot to learn, but own what you are and what you bring to the table. That will help us. That will help us make a decision that hopefully will be in your favor. Let's see. The next thing I would tell you is just to come in prepared with some success stories, right? So that means, preparation, right? Think about the kinds of questions you're going to get based on the jobs you may be interviewing for. If it's an administrative position, you're going to be asked what kind of computer knowledge you have. Like, you're going to be asked, what computers do you work with? You're probably going to be asked a question or two about, what kind of experience you have. Tell us what you've done, right? So have that ready. You're probably going to be asked a question about, it's the city of Los Angeles, so you're probably going to be asked, an EEO related question. Maybe, I don't know, but that, I don't know the questions, honestly. But I do know that EEO is a big thing: equal employment opportunity, non-discrimination, non-harassment, right? Those kinds of questions are usually pop up in these things. So be prepared to talk about that a little bit. But mostly just be prepared to talk yourself up, and don't be afraid to do so. Okay. Some other things I do want to just point out that you do need to bring your ID. So the criteria to fingerprint here at Los Angeles World Airports, you want to work at LAX or Van Nuys Airport, well, we're major airports here. And so there's another level of security that's always involved. You need to bring your ID. So it's your driver's license and state ID, whatever you have, and your social security card. Those are musts. We cannot fingerprint you without them. Or a passport, a valid US passport, which requires you to have a driver's license and social security card, is also acceptable. But you've got to bring those with you. And if you bring a photocopy of them, even better, because that's what badging requires. They'll always keep a photocopy of your documents. If you bring it with you, that's much better. So bring those documents and a photocopy with you. This way you have them, because if we do same day hiring, the first thing we're going to do is send you over to fingerprint. And that is a requirement to work here. And we want to get that out of the way right away. You're going to get a conditional job offer. So if you are selected, you will get what is called a conditional job offer. That means that it's hired with the contingency that you pass fingerprinting, that you pass the personnel department's backgrounds, so it's not a guarantee still. Though I wouldn't go away and immediately quit whatever other job you may have, right? Because the city does require certain things. And so it is a conditional job offer. And then once those conditions are met, you'll be notified, yep, now you're bona fide. Let's come and bring you in, and then you can start making those arrangements. But I wouldn't go running to your employer and saying, hey, I quit, just yet. Even if we do fingerprint you that day, there's always some extra things that we need to do before we can actually make you the official job offer, especially in a situation like a job fair. And then COVID, you have to have proof of COVID vaccine. You can interview if you're not vaccinated, but it may affect our ability because it is a condition of employment in the city of Los Angeles to be vaccinated. So you can interview if you're not, but then we'll have to address it if an offer is made. We'll have to address how that's going to be handled. And honestly, I don't want to get into the minutia of that just now, but if that were to arise, we would have a discussion about that. So that's basically kind of it in a nutshell. We're right at like 12:28. I started a little late though, so I can hang in for a bit. Does anybody have any additional questions, thoughts? The location is kind of interesting, so pay attention to the map and the Eventbrite, because wayfinding sometimes gets you turned around a bit. So you definitely want to make sure you're aware of the location, 7307 World Way West. We are the high rise that's on World Way West, which is a service road in the back end of the airport, right off of Pershing. So if you're driving down Pershing Boulevard, then you can get onto World Way West, and then we're the high rise, the only high rise building that's there. That's probably the best way I could describe it. But pay attention to the map at the Eventbrite, and if you get lost or confused, you can call 424-646-5900. 424-646. Oops. Let's put that on the chat. 424-646-5900. That's our main line. Unless instructed otherwise. We may reach out to people and give a more specific number, but that's a good one. Okay, so with that, does anybody have any additional questions? I know this was sort of it seemed like it was thrown together last minute, but that I assure you is only because it was thrown together last minute. But if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be happy to answer as many of them as I can in the time that we have left.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, Joe. I feel like I learned a lot, and I hope that the students did as well. As the students try to think of any last minute questions that you didn't already answer, I'm gonna go ahead and share a slide for anyone that's here as part of the work experience program, and you wanna get credit for attending. You need to take a screenshot of the slide that is currently on screen. To all students, thank you so much for attending. You're going to receive an email with this recording, as well as with all the links that were shared in the chat, all the resources that were shared in the chat, including the WorkSource resources. So thank you all so much for attending. Please ask any questions if you can still think of any. And thank you so much to Joe for the great opportunity that you're sharing with our students.
I just want to say thank you very much. I learned a lot, and now I plan on attending. I was nervous, but now I'm excited. Thank you.
That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Good luck. Yeah, if you are attending, by the way, good luck, everybody. I hope we end up with a lot of really great employees here at LAWA out of this group. We really value all of our young and up and coming future stars here at City of Los Angeles. We hope you guys are a part of that.
Well, thank you again, Joe, and thank you for joining us, Joelle. And to all the students, we're so glad this was helpful. If you have any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us here at the Career Center. We're happy to help you get connected to the West Adams WorkSource Center. We're happy to help you get connected to the various opportunities at LAWA and anything else that we can do. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you, West LA College friends. See you now. Take care.
See you all soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.